Hello, people of power. Hi, my name is Trinity Hall. And if you read our summary on this morning, we are talking about this week the process of the unfamiliar. Now, I want to read to you some passages that God gave me. And this was like over a year ago. And it reads, the process of the unfamiliar. Oftentimes, we want to travel, live, or fantasize about different locations. We want to enjoy what our mental has visualized, but do not have the understanding of the place called the unfamiliar. The unfamiliar place is a place that is not easily understood, but have been imagined. The problem arises when we have to go through the process and then carry out our destiny to its fullest extent. The place of the unfamiliar is the imagined place, but comes with a term called process. Most people cannot survive the unfamiliar because they cannot adjust. Your ability to adjust, staying focused, and maintaining yourself are the biggest challenges. It is a process. The process is the route of development that one must take in order to fulfill dreams and God-ordained orders for one's success. The place of the unfamiliar can be a process, meaning one must undergo tests and trials before getting to their destination. It is a place unbeknown to you but orchestrated by God. You may ask God, why am I here? Did you really lead me? Did I make a mistake? These are just various questions, but in actuality, you want an answer just to soothe your soul, especially when you are uncomfortable. This is the place called the unfamiliar. Now, let's talk about Genesis chapter 12. Abram. God told him to leave his father's house to go to a place that he was going to show him. In other words, I want you to leave what you knew. I want you to leave that old mindset. I want you to leave those old habits, those old ritualistic things that you used to do. I want you to leave that all behind because I'm trying to take you to a place that I'm going to show you that's orchestrated by me, that I have created for you before the foundations of the world. Now, Abram went, but guess what God told him? Don't take nobody with you. But guess who went with him? Lot went with him. Now, later on in the verses, Lot, a herdsman, and Abram's herdsman were fighting against each other. The land could not hold them because they obtained so much possession. So what happened is they had to separate. In other words, you cannot go to the place called the unfamiliar and still have the same mindset. In other words, the things you used to do, the things how you used to think, how you used to rationalize things, how you used to just ponder in your mind about things, you cannot take that to the place called the unfamiliar. Because in the unfamiliar place, there are enemies that are waiting for you, like failure, like doubt, like depression, like a give up spirit to try to conquer you in that land. So if you have that same mindset, how you used to think, you're going to be overpowered in the land. Now, what God wants us to do is to know that this is orchestrated by Him, even in the midst of it, even in the midst of what you're going through. You got to understand something, that you are going through the process, but you are being processed to be able to possess, to be able to do what God has called you to do. Now, what happened is that when the seasons change, like this is fall now, the earth must become subject to the season. In other words, now it's getting cooler outside. The leaves are starting to change. In other words, when your season begins to change, things about you change. Meaning that your countenance may change, your walk may change, your talk may change, the way you dress may change, where you live may change, what you drive may change. Some of you are about to embark on business endeavors. Some of you are about to get new houses, new cars, new jobs, new friendships, new relationships. Some of you are about to start ministry. Some of you are about to do some spectacular things in God. But you cannot give up during the process. Remember I said earlier that this is a time of tests and trials, really to see really what you're made of. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. All you can do is step out in faith and know that God is going to do what he said he's going to do in your life. And you have to know that God got your back. You have to know that God is not going to leave you in the place called unfamiliar alone, because if you can get through the process, you can get to the provision that God has promised you. Just like God promised Abram. He said that I'm going to make you a great nation. He said, I'm going to make your name great. He said, I'm going to bless them that bless you, curse them that curse you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So don't get discouraged in the process, because in the process is where you are made. Where things are being stripped off you, where things are being cut off of you. Why? Because there is purpose to achieve for your life what God has called you to do. Now, I want you to stay tuned on this week, because God is going to minister to us what he wants us to know about this place called the unfamiliar. Now, I want you to share this message, because God is up to something. And if he is up to something, that means he is ready to bless his people. So tune in on tomorrow as we go through this week's topic, the process of the unfamiliar. God bless you.